What's going on, guys? This is Sam, and today, very exciting video. I was able to get my hands on the new 2018 MacBook Pro here. This is the base 15-inch model, and the specs look really great. I'll flash them up on screen right now. Apple just announced this yesterday and technically released it yesterday as well, but I was actually able to get this at a Best Buy in store before Apple had it available in stores, which is super weird, super backwards, but we have it right here, so let's go ahead and check it out. Let's go ahead and open it. Of course, safety, very important thing here at iUpdateOS, so we are going to be using a butter knife. Start with a small incision over here on the right. Starting to think maybe a butter knife wasn't the best idea. Let's go ahead and cut open this part right here and just tear the plastic off. Let's go ahead and pop it open. It looks pretty much identical to the 2016 model, which I have right here. The grays look identical, but let's go ahead and pop this out and set it to the side for just 1 second. Underneath, you've got your quick start guide, quick start materials. Will they be space gray Apple Store stickers? 3, 2, again. We've been ganked. We spend $2,400 and the stickers are still white. It's okay. There's always next year. No big deal. Below that, you've got your power brick right here and then your USB-C to USB-C cable. No lightning here. And that's everything you get in the box with the 2018 MacBook Pro. Let's push that to the side over here. This is the 2018 15-inch base MacBook Pro. And let's go ahead and take the plastic off real quick. Pretty good. I'd rate that, it was like an 8 for taking off the plastic. Still really great. And you can see the space grays look nearly identical. 2016 over here on the left and the 2018 model over on the right. So let's go ahead and open this up and check out the new True Tone display, the new keyboard, and all the other features and changes. Moving through the setup process, one of the new features on the MacBook Pro because of the Apple T2 chip is that you can enable Ask Siri. So you'll be able to say, "Hey Siri," and this is the first time I've ever seen this on a Mac before, so let's go ahead and continue. "Hey Siri." Alright, that's definitely going to be like 50% accurate to how I actually sound because I'm talking in a video. "Hey Siri" is ready. Siri will recognize your voice whenever you say the famous Siri phrase. Of course, we want to enable all our files in iCloud, turn on File Vault. Touch ID also still on the new MacBook Pros. Let's set up that very quickly. Here's another new part of the setup process that we've never seen on a Mac before to date. This is a new True Tone display. First time it ever came to a Mac is with this computer right here. So let's see how it changes the color temperature when we see without True Tone. Alright, so that was a pretty noticeable change. It looks a little bit cooler, I want to say. Maybe a little bit warmer. Let me try it again. So yeah, so it's actually making it warmer when I turn it off because it senses I'm in a cooler environment. So this is with True Tone display enabled, and then if I see without True Tone, you can see it gets a little bit warmer. What is great about True Tone is it's not always the feature that you're going to notice immediately. The point of it isn't to be this bold, punchy option that you're always going to want to look at. The point of it is that you don't notice it's there, but reading anything and just using your computer is more enjoyable, regardless of what situation or lighting conditions that you're in. So that's really cool. Here's the desktop of the new MacBook Pros. First thing I have to check is if we get new wallpapers here. I'm really hoping that we do. All the way down at the bottom, no, there are no new wallpapers. That's really shocking because they're plastered all over the MacBook Pro website. I gotta fix that real quick. Alright, all better now. Now it actually looks like a new MacBook Pro. I mean, obviously first impressions are it feels really fast, it feels really quick. I haven't had the chance to actually use like Logic Pro on here or Final Cut Pro just yet. But let's go ahead and run a Geekbench test and see what the hard facts are, see what the hard numbers are for this device, because we saw some leak, but I want to see in person the Geekbench score. So let's go ahead and run the CPU benchmark on Intel 64 right now, and then we'll check back in a second. And for some comparison, I'll run it on my 2016 base 15-inch model as well, and then we'll see how much better the computers have gotten over 2 years. Alright, the 2016 model just finished, so let's go ahead and flash these up on screen side by side. On the 2016 base MacBook Pro 15-inch, looking at 4123 single-core score and a multi-core score of 14,074 in 2018 with the new MacBook Pro 15-inch base model, 4716 for the single core score and 19,354 for the multi-core score. Alright, so I divided the old MacBook Pro multi-core score by the new MacBook Pro, so it was like 72-ish% of that number, so then I did the math the other way. And it looks like the new MacBook Pro multi-core score is about 27% faster on the 2018 model than what you got in 2016. So if you have a 2017 model, that difference will of course be smaller. Now I want to compare the 2018 MacBook Pro to the late 2017 iMac Pro. The iMac Pro is about twice the price of this. It retails for $5,000. You can get a little bit cheaper, but this retails for $2,400 without tax. So for half the price of the iMac Pro, you actually get 2/3 of the raw Geekbench multi-core performance, which is pretty impressive. I thought it would be closer to half just because the cost was half, but the new processors inside the MacBook Pros are really great. So half the price of the iMac Pro on the MacBook Pro 2018 actually gets you 2/3 of the overall performance. Geekbench also has some really cool GPU testing as well, so I'll set it to not the Intel built-in, but the AMD Radeon Pro 555X, and then we'll run that and compare it once again to the 2016 model. So the 2016 model got 37,076 for OpenCL, but the new one got 50,613. So once again, a pretty nice improvement to see here. It's still not as good as I think Apple could have put inside of this, but still pretty good nonetheless. So something else I want to try out on the new MacBook Pros is how the keyboard sounds. So in a second, I want to compare it between the 2016 model with the second generation butterfly mechanism and the third generation model on the new 2018 MacBook Pros. Because Apple says it's quieter, it could be a new mechanism underneath. We don't actually know if they are more reliable, only time will tell, but Apple recently announced a repair program for the older MacBook Pros that were having keyboard issues. So let's go ahead and see how much quieter the new MacBook keyboard is, if it's quieter at all. Alright, so up first is the 2018 model. I'm going to type a couple sentences. So if you couldn't tell the difference there, I really couldn't either. I think when Apple says quieter, they mean like 1/2 of a half of a decimal quieter, because while it feels a little different on the new MacBook, I don't know if it feels sturdier, I couldn't tell you that yet. It does feel different, it does sound ever so slightly quieter, but if you're a heavy typer and you're not super light in your finger movements, the keyboard sounds the exact same on the new MacBooks as the old MacBook Pro. So I don't know why Apple is saying they're quieter when genuinely I could not tell the difference. If I was blindfolded, which one was quieter? They both sound like their keys going off on a MacBook Pro, and at this point, that sound is pretty distinct. I've never tried to activate Siri on the Mac before with just my voice, so let's try it. Hey Siri. How's the weather in Cupertino? Alright, the last thing that I wanted to test in this video were the new speakers on the 2018 MacBook Pro, and putting it side by side of the 2016 model, you have to listen. Alright, here's exactly 50% volume starting at 20 seconds. Blown away by how they sound on the 2018 MacBook Pro. I thought they might be marginally louder, and I even looked online to see if the 2017 model speakers had changed, and I couldn't find it. So the speakers on the new MacBook Pro sound a lot better than they did 2 years ago. So overall, things I love about the new MacBook Pro already are the True Tone display. I think it looks really, really great. I love having Hey Siri now. That was never on a Mac before this Mac. I wish that there were new wallpapers though, like there just aren't any pre-installed. You have to go to a third-party source like my site to download it. Also, the keyboard is ever so slightly quieter, but I genuinely don't think that the average person would notice. Like if you were trying to figure this out in an Apple store, there's no way. Like when you start banging away, maybe it gets louder easier and quicker on the older second generation butterfly keyboards, but everything else sounds the exact same. The feel is a little bit different. I want to say the pressiness of it, if that could be used as a word, is a little bit softer. But still, in general, the keyboard is still clacky. I was thinking near silent when Apple said that they had redone the keyboard. It still sounds pretty much the same as the old MacBook Pros. But performance looks really great. I can't wait to start editing some videos on this. So, of course, stay tuned for a full MacBook Pro review in the very near future. I'm going to put it through its paces for a few days and, of course, report back to all of you. But so far, so good. Feels pretty great. New keyboard feels good. and I'm excited to spend some more time with this. So if you enjoyed watching this unboxing, make sure to drop a like down below, and of course hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future. And that's all for this video. I've been Sam. I hope you're doing great, and I'll see you in the next one.